Hey, thanks for stopping by for part two of what every parent should do before sending their child to camp. You're going to want to ask the camp what their policy is for bullying. As you know, bullying it can be a problem in school, and it can happen at camp too. Very unlikely, but it can happen. So you want to find out how their staff were trained to deal with bullying, and what the staff will do if your child comes up and tells them they are getting bullied. So you want to find out how they deal with that. You want to find out about the camper return rate and see how many kids are coming back to the camp. If they keep coming back, you know you got yourself a great camp. One of my favorite camps that I ever worked at was called Camp Casper Gregory. It was in Aurora, New York, and it was an amazing camp. I was there like 4 or 5 years, and the kids that were there while I was there, they came because their parents came. And the reason their parents came is because their parents came. So it is just so entrenched in their families that they just keep coming back. And if you can get something like that, you know you've hit a jackpot. You want to ask who is distributing the medications at camp. Is it a nurse or PA, or is it just someone with basic first aid? Again, like I said, the standards for nurses at camp can vary from anything to nothing. So, what a lot of camps do is their health officer will be someone that took the American Red Cross first aid class. It's a 4 hour class, and pretty much you learn how to make a splint, CPR, maybe a band aid. So you want to find out just exactly what credentials they got if they're passing out your medication. You're going to want to ask what the ages are for programming. Let's say arts and crafts, and your child is 10. Is your child in there with other 10-year-olds, or is your child in there with 12-year-olds too? I've done it both ways, and both of them have worked for me pretty well. In fact, when I had arts and crafts and groups in there, and the younger kids were having trouble, the older kids would sort of mentor the younger kids and made them feel good by helping out. Check the camp's webpage and see what it looks like. If it's thrown together, that'll give you a good idea maybe of how the camp is ran. The webpage should have applications on there. The process of applying should have health forms on there for you to print out. Everything that you need to send your child to camp should be on that camp's webpage. Look at photos. Um, all the time, camps are posting photos on their webpage. So look and see if the kids are having fun. And don't look at the people sitting right up front. Look to the people behind them and see if they're running around and have a good time. Ask the director for parent references. This has happened to me on numerous occasions. Parent will want me to give them contact information from former campers, and the parent can call up and find out how their child liked the camp. Um, any camp should give you this information, no questions asked. This is one that's so important. Criminal and sex offender background checks. There's many states in the U.S. That your child can go to a camp where they don't do background checks or sex offender checks or both. So you want to definitely ask and see if they're doing that. Again, I mentioned the ACA. They mandate that everybody in a camp gets both of those background checks. Ask how many of the references they call when somebody's applying for a job. I always asked for four references, and I called all four. But I've been at camps in the past that they would get four, and whoever's doing the hiring would only call two out of the four. So you want to find out. The camper to staff ratio at the camp. So how many kids does one counselor? How many can they be in charge of? This one, man, most of the states have no guidelines for this whatsoever. But again, the ACA does, and their regulations are one staff for every six campers, ages 6 to 8, one staff for every 8 campers, 9 to 14, and one staff for every 10 campers, ages 15 to 18. So, throughout both videos, you've heard me talk about the American Camping Association. I can't tell you how important it is to find a camp that is credited by the ACA, because you know that your child is going to be taken care of, everything is going to be fine. Just because the state doesn't have guidelines, trust the ACA guidelines and they won't let you down. You want to ask the average age of the counselors. I always tried to get a mix between 18 and 22. I didn't want all 18-year-olds because, they're still growing. So find out what the average age of their counselors are. As parents, no matter what I tell you or no matter what you do, you're going to be worried when your child is at camp. There's no way around it. I was worried when my kids were at camp and I knew the camp they were at and knew everybody. So you're going to be nervous about it. You're going to worry about it. All you need to know is if you follow some of the guidelines that I gave you and research the camp, find out if they're ACA accredited. If you do all of that, you're going to know that when your child is at camp, that they're going to be safe and they're going to have a rewarding camp experience. So that's about it that I can give you. I'll be making some more videos coming up soon. One last thing, I told you in my welcome video that I became disabled and I can no longer work at camp. So this gives me a lot of free time. So if you would like, shoot me a comment down below or send me an email, and I'll be more than happy to help you find a camp for your child to go to. I can do a bunch of research and pass it on to you, and you can make an educated decision on where you want to send your child. So anyway, that's it. I'll be seeing you soon. Please like, subscribe, and tell your friends to come visit. Thanks.